This video covers Module 7, Policy Implications and the Science of Reading, part of the Hare Theory training deck. Our learning objectives are to distinguish growth standards from targets, calculate the policy impact of minimum growth mandates, and evaluate the 1.0 sigma and 2.0 sigma scenarios. The Hare framework is prescriptive, demanding a specific policy response, the establishment of minimum growth standards. This is a floor, not a target or aspiration. Targets are aspirational, with no consequences for missing. Standards are legally binding, data-monitored, consequence-linked floors that require demonstrating a minimum growth. The single most powerful intervention available is establishing a minimum growth standard of 0.25 sigma per NAEP assessment cycle. This standard must be legally binding, data-monitored, and consequence-linked, applying to every school, district, and classroom. Implementing a 0.25 sigma minimum in 2011 would have resulted in a 2024 projected score of 202.98, a tiny difference from the actual 201 score. However, this is a massive difference in trajectory. With a 0.25 sigma standard, the time to proficiency is 112 years. Without this standard, the proxy time is 1,120 years. The minimum standard reduces the timeline by a factor of 10, converting an impossibility into a multi-generational challenge. The 0.5 sigma standard, or double the national norm, halves the timeline to 56 years for proficiency. This is the Hare recommended goal standard, achievable within the planning horizon of institutional reform. The 1.0 sigma standard is 4 times the national norm, reducing the time to proficiency to 28 years within 1 generation. This level of growth is achievable within a teacher's career span. High-performing programs routinely produce effect sizes from 0.5 sigma to 1.5 sigma. Achieving 1.0 sigma growth through models like direct instruction or intensive small group tutoring is aggressive, but not unprecedented. The 2.0 sigma standard, or 8 times the national norm, results in proficiency in just 14 years. This is within a single political term, or a student's K-12 career, representing the mathematical consequence of choosing growth over stagnation. Current policy scenarios show a dramatic difference in years to proficiency. The 2.0 sigma standard achieves proficiency in 14 years, visible within a current student's K-12 career. The time to proficiency translates to significant human meaning. 1,120 years is mathematically impossible, while 14 years is visible within a lifetime. By January 2026, a different signal emerged. New Mexico's Science of Reading results showed significant reading gains, as released by the NM Public Education Department. New Mexico saw a 10-point gain in reading proficiency, moving from 36% in 2022 to 44% in 2025. This gain reflects that 72% of all schools improved reading scores from 2024 to 2025. In 2025, Albuquerque led the state for the first time in years. Key results included gains for every Yazzie/Martinez student group and African American students. District-wide reading scores rose 4.8 points, with reading proficiency improving 8.5 points over 3 years. Significant gains were achieved across historically underserved populations. Native American students saw a 12.1 percentage point gain, African American students gained 7.9 points, and economically disadvantaged students saw a 6.9 point gain. It is critical to note that these gains are measured on the state assessment, not NAEP. The gains are real, but they are not directly comparable to NAEP data, because the state assessments and NAEP use different scales, standards, and sampling. The critical question remains: do the 2025 gains represent the start of a growth trajectory that meets or exceeds 0.25 sigma annual growth, or are they a rebound that will plateau? The 2026 NAEP assessment cycle will provide the definitive answer. In early 2025, the Advancing the Science of Reading Act was signed. This marked the first time New Mexico addressed growth at the teacher preparation level, mandating that all educator prep programs graduate teachers with science of reading skills. Teacher preparation is the key leverage point. If teachers are not trained in evidence-based reading instruction, no curriculum mandate will produce sustained growth. The Act targets the root of the instructional pipeline, where leverage is greatest. The science of reading demands instruction in 5 core components: phonemic awareness, systematic phonics instruction, fluency development, vocabulary instruction, and text comprehension strategies. All must be delivered through structured, explicit, and sequential instruction. Positive signs for sustaining the trajectory include a legislative mandate, teacher preparation reform, and evidence-based curriculum requirements. Risks include a rebound plateau, inconsistent implementation, and issues with funding sustainability and teacher turnover. The NAEP 2026 test is the definitive assessment. It will answer whether the 2025 gains translated to NAEP improvement and if the growth rate is now at or above 0.25 sigma. If the answer is yes, the act is working. If no, more structural intervention is needed. In summary, minimum growth standards, not targets, are the critical policy intervention. The Science of Reading Act targets teacher preparation, the highest leverage point, and the 2025 gains await NAEP confirmation.